So, have you ever been hungry? I mean, really, really hungry? No? Well, lucky you. How about this? Have you ever run out of food and there are still a lot of days before payday? That has happened to me. The secret is to see it as an experience and don't see it as being good or bad. I had the beans, 6 to 9 cents on sale at the local grocery store, and I consider that very fortunate. This is salt pork. This is what I'm going to use to flavor my beans. Now, this was $2.39, the most expensive part of the meal. Barbecue sauce is not my favorite barbecue sauce, but it worked very well, and I enjoyed using it. You may want to use your favorite. And then, of course, ketchup. Regular tomato ketchup. I'm sure you have your favorite brand. This is what was in the refrigerator, and I'm really making this meal based upon what I have. The salt pork looks very much like bacon, doesn't it? I think they're the same thing, really. Anyway, the salt pork, what I did was I cut it up into little bite-sized pieces, just like that. But because I don't really want the fat, but I want the flavor, what I did was, and maybe other people do the same thing, but in my case, I fried it up in hot oil. Now, a few days ago, I bought some bacon, and I told you that I make bacon based upon my method. I fry all the bacon at the same time, and then I save the bacon fat. This is what the bacon fat is doing. It is frying up the pork. You really have to watch it, really. But anyway, when it reaches a stage that you like, for example, I don't want it to be super crispy, but I do want a lot of the fat off from the bacon. As I said, I need the flavor. I don't need the fat. But this is the point where I stopped. I could have fried it some more and made it more crispy. But this is what I like right here. When you buy beans in a can, it comes in liquid. And I don't know what that liquid is, really. I do know that it has some words that I cannot pronounce. So for me, when I buy the beans in the can, I like to rinse off the liquid. Maybe it doesn't do anything, but I feel better doing that. That's all. So once I have rinsed it off, it goes into a pan with some liquid, water usually, just enough to cover the beans or almost cover the beans. That's how I like it. Then I add the crispy pork. Remember that? I will add the crispy pork to the pan with the beans. After that comes the creative part. The beans are in. My crispy pork is in. I add about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of the barbecue sauce. Now, this is the creative part of the cooking. You may add anything you want here. Some people may want to add onions, maybe thyme, whatever you want, whatever will make it flavorful. That's the secret. The ketchup, about the same thing, 2, maybe 3 tablespoonfuls of ketchup into the pan with the pork and beans. And the liquid, as you know, is water, just plain water. In addition to that, I added some sugar. Now, I looked at my cupboard later, only to find that I did have molasses. Had I known the molasses, I would have added the molasses. Anyway, this is light brown sugar, and I added that. Maybe 2 tablespoonfuls of light brown sugar. And, of course, you want to stir everything well. You want to mix everything well, including your secrets that's in there. If you promise not to tell anyone, I will say I added maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. But that's optional, really. Then it all goes into the pot. It goes to simmer for 1.5 hours. The longer, the better. And while it was simmering, you guessed it, I was outside sitting at my picnic table looking at my menagerie, my beautiful birds. See, these sticks, I don't know if I explained this to you before, but these sticks and little logs and all that, we had a hurricane that came through here not too long ago, and it blew a lot of the branches off the trees. Well, they did take most of it away, but I saved this right here because I wanted to have a bird sanctuary, someplace where the birds could feel comfortable. And this is the result. It doesn't look very pretty, but it was never meant to be cosmetically pure or to be aesthetically pleasing to anyone. What I wanted was someplace for the birds to feel comfortable. So every morning and every evening, I put some bird food out, and they all come by and enjoy it. So now you know. I just thought I'd explain that to you. But this really is about beans and pork, or pork and beans. It just so happened that this turned out to be really, really good. It made me think, I wonder what would have happened instead of having water. What would have happened if I used some red wine? The imagination is going wild. No matter, I stocked up on some beans, and I have a lot of condiments in the refrigerator, and of course, the salt pork is still there. So maybe, who knows, maybe tomorrow.